In continuation to my explanation for contours, I will explain you today how to interpret contours. So if you see contours are spaced evenly, the gap between them is almost same. Then there is a narrow contour in the center, which is and there is equal spacing till end, then this is showing a conical hill. The upper part of the conical hill will be this contour, and eventually the lines will keep increasing in its width, and but the lines will be parallel to each other. So a conical hill is presented like this. Examiner may ask you about now, what type of feature is represented by this contour? So you should be knowing about it. Now, this is also a hill, but how will you should not be saying it as a contour hill, because if you see the top between this contour and the top of this contour, there is a difference. So if there is a bigger round center contour and the height is less, then it is also a hill, but it is round topped hill, a small hill which is round topped hill. Now, in case of a plateau, there is a flat top, so you will see a flattened, elongated contour. The clear difference between a plateau contour line and a conical hill contour line is circular pattern of contours, and in case of a plateau, there is an elongated pattern. Can you see this oval? So there is a oval pattern, elongated pattern, which also we called as elliptical pattern. So if there is a elliptical pattern, it is not much, center part is broad contour, then it is a plateau. Now here, this is also a plateau, but it has a large top, large flat top. The previous plateau was also a plateau, but it was an eroded plateau, where the top of the mountain is eroded and it has converted into plateau. If it is further eroded and goes down till here, then it will form this kind of plateau. So you'll see the gap between the center contour keeps increasing, and there is no small narrow center contour, only few lines on the side. Few lines indicate that the slope is not much. That is why there are just few lines. See, the height is also less. Now, this is called as a ridge. A ridge is a mountain with a sharp top like this, but sharp elongated top. A peak has a small sharp top, like Mount Everest will be a peak, which will have only one top here, which will be very high. But in a ridge, it's a mountain, it's a high mountain, but it has an elongated top. So a ridge will be represented by narrow lines which are going towards one direction at the end, or merging towards one direction at the end, and showing a definite path of the slope like this. So this is a ridge. Valley. A valley will be represented by V-shaped contours, where you will find that the height is decreasing in one definite direction and there is a river in between. So this shows a V-shaped valley. A V-shaped valley will be represented by V-shaped contours. A ravine is it's a wall-like pattern where the river is flowing in between. So this has been cut by river water. Straight walls are there on the side. It is represented by contours which are again very close to each other. Will be slightly not V, but a narrow U-shaped contours will be there. Like previously in this, there is a V-shaped contour. So in a ridge, you will find this kind of narrow U contour. So if you see narrow U, narrow U, narrow U till end, U shape, very narrow U shape, then it will be a kind of a ravine. Then okay, so I'll give you some exercise on the basis of today's this explanation. Please try to draw some contours and Then I'll see how and send me pictures when you finally draw it. And you can draw a rough at this moment so that you practice it and finally we make our practical files.